What if I told you that a simple 1965 quarter, the kind you've seen 1,000 times, could be worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars? Not because it's old. Not because it's foreign. But because it looks just a little different. A unique silver-colored shade hiding in a sea of ordinary. These rare 1965 quarter dollars with no mint mark are shocking collectors and investors across the country, and the demand is only growing. Every day, more and more people are turning pocket change into real profit. But time is running out, and most of these valuable coins are disappearing into private collections forever. So how can you tell if you've got one of these silver-tone treasures? And why are collectors paying so much for a coin that was supposed to be so common? Stay with me, because the story behind this coin is not just surprising. It's financially life-changing. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. For decades, these quarters were made from 90% silver, until 1965. That year marked a massive shift in American coinage. Due to rising silver prices and the increasing cost of minting, the U.S. Mint transitioned from silver to a copper-nickel-clad composition. Silver coins were pulled from circulation, and the new coins, lighter, duller, and less lustrous, took their place. But here's where it gets fascinating. Amid that transition, a few quarters dated 1965 were accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver planchets from the previous year. These silver-colored coins were never meant to exist. They slipped through the cracks during a chaotic changeover. That's why they have no mint mark, because all quarters that year, silver or clad, were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use mint marks at the time. Now here's the key detail that sets the silver shade 1965 quarters apart: their unique appearance. They shine brighter, feel heavier, and carry a sharper ring when dropped. But many collectors miss them because they blend in, until you hold them side by side with a regular copper-nickel quarter. That's when the difference becomes undeniable, but rarity alone doesn't explain the spike in value. It's the demand. These silver shade 1965 quarters are now part of a growing obsession among collectors who specialize in mint errors and transitional anomalies. And prices? They're soaring. In recent auctions, confirmed silver planchet 1965 quarters have fetched anywhere from $500 to over $7,000 depending on condition. One uncirculated example graded by PCGS sold for an astonishing $12,000. Even circulated coins with clear silver luster and the right weight, around 6.25 grams compared to the standard 5.67 grams, can command hundreds. But here's the twist. Many of these coins haven't been graded yet. They're sitting in junk drawers, coin jars, and old collections, waiting to be discovered. That's why collectors in the know are combing through thousands of coins, hunting for this accidental rarity before they're gone. So how can you tell if your 1965 quarter is the real deal? First, weigh it. A genuine silver 1965 quarter should weigh close to 6.25 grams. If it's lighter, it's likely the standard clad version. Next, inspect the edge. A clad coin will show a distinct copper line sandwiched between nickel layers. But a silver quarter has a solid, uniform silver edge with no copper streak. Use a magnet. Silver isn't magnetic, and neither is copper-nickel, but this helps you rule out any fake or altered coins. And most importantly, if you suspect you have a silver 1965 quarter, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value instantly. Instead, store it in a soft coin flip or an airtight holder, and consider sending it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication, because once it's verified, you're no longer holding pocket change. You're holding a piece of rare numismatic history. We're living in a moment where everyday Americans are uncovering forgotten wealth in their own homes. The 1965 silver shade quarter with no mint mark is more than just a mistake. It's a symbol of transition, a rare chapter in U.S. mint history that the public was never meant to see, and that collectors are now scrambling to own. As the years pass, these coins will only become scarcer. Most are already in private collections, hidden away from the market. That means values are likely to rise. And those who spot these coins today, those who know what to look for, stand to gain the most. So here's the question, have you checked your quarters? That old 1965 coin you nearly gave away, could it be one of the last silver planchet survivors? Because in the world of coin collecting, knowledge isn't just power, it's profit. And your next discovery could be worth far more than you think. Imagine holding a simple 1980 quarter in your hand. It looks ordinary at first glance, until the light hits it just right, revealing a shimmering silver hue not typical of modern quarters. What if I told you this silver-toned 1980p quarter could be hiding in your pocket change right now, and some collectors are willing to pay hundreds, even thousands, for the right one? This is not just another old coin. This is a growing mystery in the numismatic world, a coin that's becoming a hot target for serious collectors. But what makes it so special? And why is the market suddenly surging for this specific quarter? Stay with me, because what you're about to discover might change how you see every quarter you've ever handled. Let's step back for a moment and talk about the Washington quarter itself. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday, this coin has seen decades of history pass through American hands. The 1980 version, minted in Philadelphia, carried no mint mark until that year, when the piggy mint mark was introduced for the first time on a quarter, making 1980 a historic pivot point. That alone gives the coin a layer of significance, but the real intrigue lies in the anomaly that has collectors buzzing, the silver-colored 1980p quarter. While standard quarters from this era were made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, a small number have surfaced with a striking silver shade. These coins aren't pure silver, but their appearance suggests otherwise, bright, reflective, almost like a proof strike in circulation. So, how does this happen? In most cases, this silver-like tone results from either an error in the minting process, such as a planchet intended for a proof coin slipping into a standard run, or a rare chemical reaction during storage that preserved the coin in near uncirculated, brilliant condition. The silver shade sets these coins apart visually, catching the eye of sharp collectors who know exactly what to look for. And here's where things get truly interesting: collectors aren't just admiring these coins, they're aggressively bidding for them. Recently, a 1980p quarter with a bright silver tone and high-grade finish sold for over $700 at auction. Another, with an MS-66 grade and a frosted, proof-like luster, went for nearly $1,200. These aren't isolated cases. The demand is growing as more collectors recognize the coin's rarity and the unique story behind its appearance. If you're wondering whether you might have one of these high-value quarters sitting in your change jar, here's what to look for. Start by examining the coin's color under natural light. A silver-shaded 1980p quarter will stand out immediately from its copper-nickel peers. Its brightness, tone, and shine are unmistakable. Turn the coin on its edge. If you see little to no copper stripe, that's a strong indicator. Some of these rare coins exhibit a nearly pure silver edge, unlike the usual sandwich-like appearance. Once you identify a potential candidate, preserve it immediately. Avoid cleaning it, as that can severely reduce its value. Use cotton gloves to handle the coin and store it in a protective holder. If the condition looks promising, consider having it professionally graded. A certified high-grade example with the silver-toned look can command a premium price and draw competitive interest at auction houses or online platforms. Collectors are increasingly treating these coins as more than just curiosities, they're investments. With prices climbing and interest rising, the window to acquire or discover one at a lower cost is narrowing. The silver-shaded 1980p quarter is no longer just a mistake, it's becoming a treasure. So, what's the real takeaway here? The 1980p quarter, especially those with a brilliant silver appearance, is one of the most underrated yet increasingly valuable coins in circulation today. It combines historical importance, visual rarity, and growing collector demand, all the ingredients of a future blue-chip numismatic investment. While many overlook this coin as just another pocket quarter, seasoned collectors know that opportunities like this don't stay hidden for long. The silver-shaded 1980p quarter is quickly gaining legendary status among modern U.S. coins. If you find one in great condition, you may be holding a small fortune. Will you be the next to uncover this hidden gem, or will it slip through your hands unnoticed? The hunt begins now, and the clock is ticking. Could there be a rare and valuable silver coin hiding right inside your change jar? What if I told you that a common-looking 1987 quarter, especially one with a Denver Mint D mark, might be worth far more than 25 cents today? And the most shocking part? It's not the age or design that makes it special, it's the unusual silver shade that's catching the eyes of serious collectors across the country. Right now, coin experts are uncovering a silent rush for these uniquely toned quarters, and once the word gets out, you might never see them priced this low again. Stay with me, because what you learn next could turn a simple pocket find into a prized and profitable discovery. To understand the true potential of the 1987 D quarter, we first need to step back and explore its roots. The Washington quarter, first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, became a staple in American coinage. For decades, these coins were struck in 90% silver, until 1965, when the U.S. Mint transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad composition due to rising silver costs. By the time we reached 1987, the quarter had long lost its silver content. But something unexpected happened during this year, particularly at the Denver Mint. Millions of 1987 D quarters were produced as usual, but a small, mysterious subset began surfacing in a radiant silver-like tone. These weren't the standard grayish-clad quarters we were used to seeing. These had a bright, brilliant sheen, almost like silver, but without the composition to match. So how did they get this way? That unusual silver shade is no accident. Over the years, numismatists have traced it to a few possible causes. In some cases, it's the result of an experimental rinse or planchet preparation that created a unique surface luster. In others, it's believed that certain planchets, possibly intended for proof sets or experimental minting, were accidentally struck and released into circulation. These coins developed a bright, mirror-like finish that stood out even among other uncirculated quarters. What makes these silver shade 1987 D quarters even more desirable is their rarity. They were never officially documented as a separate variety, which means they flew under the radar for decades. Now, collectors are scrambling to find examples that match the characteristics: sharp strikes, minimal wear, and that stunning, silvery glow. The demand has surged in recent years, driving up values in private auctions and coin shows across the United States. Just how valuable are we talking? In top condition, collectors have paid as much as $125 to $250 for silver-toned 1987 D quarters with strong eye appeal. Even lightly circulated examples have sold for $35 to $60, especially if the toning is distinct and the surfaces remain clean. And the numbers are only climbing, as more collectors realize how few of these exist and how underappreciated they've been for so long. So, how do you know if you found one? Start by examining the coin under good lighting. A genuine silver shade 1987 D quarter will reflect light more brightly than typical clad coins. Its surface will often appear smoother, more polished, and closer in tone to a pre-1965 silver quarter. Make sure to inspect the edge as well. If the copper core isn't as visible or looks subdued, you may be looking at a premium specimen. Preserving these coins is crucial. Avoid cleaning or polishing them, as this can damage their natural patina and lower their value dramatically. Store them in acid-free holders or airtight capsules to protect them from oxidation and environmental damage. And if you're unsure, consider getting the coin graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. A certified silver shade 1987 D quarter can command significantly higher prices than raw examples. The 1987 D silver shade quarter isn't just a collector's novelty. It represents one of those rare instances when a common coin slips through history with a mysterious twist, one that transforms it from everyday change into a true hidden gem. In a hobby where timing is everything, this is your moment. The market is waking up to the value of these coins, and early finders are already seeing handsome returns. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just getting started, keeping an eye out for this striking silver-toned coin could be one of the smartest collecting moves you make this year. So the next time you sift through your spare change or your old coin jar, pause before you pass over that 1987 D quarter. Because it just might be one of the most valuable and overlooked treasures still hiding in plain sight. And remember, the most extraordinary coins aren't always the oldest, they're the ones the world has yet to fully recognize. If you've ever tossed a 1990 quarter into a coin jar or used it without a second thought, stop right there. That coin, especially the one with a D mint mark and a mysterious silver-colored finish, might just be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Right now, collectors across the country are hunting for a rare variation of the 1990 Washington quarter that most people overlook. These aren't just ordinary coins. They're part of a hidden market of modern U.S. currency that's exploding in value due to their unexpected composition, rarity, and jaw-dropping appearance. If you find one, it could change everything. But only if you know what to look for. Let's dive into the story behind one of the most underestimated coins in your pocket change, because once you learn the truth, you may never look at a quarter the same way again. The Washington quarter has been an American staple since 1932, initially created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. For decades, it's seen countless design updates, but the core of the coin has remained consistent, until certain production errors and unexpected anomalies broke that pattern. And one such anomaly appeared in the year 1990. In 1990, the U.S. Mint in Denver struck millions of quarter dollars. These coins were supposed to be clad, a copper-nickel sandwich designed to withstand daily wear. But reports began surfacing of certain coins appearing in a bright silver shade, much different from the ordinary clad finish. These weren't proof coins, and they weren't polished collectibles. They were business strike quarters that somehow emerged with a radiant, almost uncirculated silver-toned appearance that immediately caught the attention of experienced numismatists. But what causes this silver-colored effect? In many cases, these coins were accidentally struck on planchets intended for different compositions, such as 40% silver planchets left over from commemorative programs, or, in some cases, improperly bonded layers that created an unusually bright, silver-finished coin. Over time, these coins develop a unique patina that sets them apart from the average dull gray quarters most people carry. But make no mistake, this isn't just about how the coin looks. It's about what that silver sheen signifies: rarity, mystery, and value. Collectors quickly began to notice that not all 1990 quarters were created equal. The few with this brilliant silver luster seemed to fetch significantly higher prices at auction. Some verified examples in brilliant uncirculated or AU condition have sold for over $300 to $500, depending on the clarity of the mint mark, the depth of the strike, and the purity of the finish. In the rarest of cases, especially those with confirmed off-metal errors or strong die characteristics, prices have pushed past $1,000 on collector marketplaces like eBay and heritage auctions. So why are collectors willing to pay such premiums? The answer lies in a combination of error, rarity, and visual appeal. In a hobby where details matter, the unexpected color of these coins immediately draws attention. Combine that with the historical significance of the Washington quarter, and the fact that most of these errors went unnoticed in circulation, and you've got the perfect storm. There's an emotional charge in finding something rare where you least expect it. That moment of realization, that you've been holding something extraordinary in your hand all along, fuels the chase. And right now, that chase is hotter than ever. Now, how can you tell if you've got one of these silver shade 1990 quarters? Start by checking the date, 1990, with a clear D mint mark just above the R in quarter. Then, under good lighting, compare it to a regular quarter. Is the coin brighter, shinier, more reflective than others of the same year? Does the edge lack the usual copper stripe? That's a key sign of an off-metal strike. Use a magnifier to inspect the strike sharpness. Errors often carry stronger than normal details because of the harder planchets they were struck on. Weigh the coin if possible. A standard quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. Any variation from that, especially if it's lighter or heavier, could mean you've got something special, but finding one is only half the story. Once identified, proper preservation is crucial. Never clean the coin. Avoid touching it with your fingers. Store it in a non-PVC flip or, better yet, a certified slab from a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade not only protects the coin, it adds legitimacy, and that can significantly raise the final price if you decide to sell. The 1990 silver shade quarter isn't just a fluke. It's a reminder that extraordinary value can hide in the ordinary. It's proof that the next big find isn't always an ancient relic or $1 million minting error. It might just be sitting in your change jar, waiting to be discovered. Collectors are waking up to the truth, and demand is climbing fast. As more of these coins get identified and graded, fewer remain hidden in the wild. That means time is running out if you want to be part of this incredible discovery wave. Don't wait until the prices skyrocket even further. Start checking your quarters now, especially those from 1990 with that shining D mint mark. This could be your moment to turn loose change into a lasting treasure. Because in the world of rare coins, knowledge isn't just power, it's profit. Stay curious, stay observant, and never underestimate the hidden value of a quarter. Right now, there could be a coin sitting quietly in your pocket, in a jar on your dresser, or buried at the bottom of a drawer, and it might be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. It's not gold. It's not ancient. It's something far more deceptive, a 1993 Washington quarter dollar with a Philadelphia mint mark, but with a silver-shaded appearance that has collectors across the United States scrambling to get their hands on it. This isn't just any quarter. It's one that looks like it shouldn't exist. A coin struck in the modern era, yet reflecting the look of a time long past. Why is this coin showing up with a silver-colored tone? And more importantly, why are serious collectors paying such high premiums for it? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and why this 1993 quarter might be the most overlooked treasure in your pocket change today. To truly understand the value of the 1993 P quarter, we need to go back, not just to 1993, but to the long and rich history of the Washington Quarter series. Introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the quarter has become one of the most recognized and circulated coins in American history. Originally minted in 90% silver, these coins transitioned to a clad composition of copper and nickel in 1965, marking the end of the silver era for everyday coinage. But here's where things get interesting. The 1993 quarter was never intended to be struck in silver. All official mint records confirm that the coins were to be struck in the standard clad composition. Yet over the years, collectors and dealers have reported a number of 1993 quarters with an unusual silver-toned appearance. These aren't just lightly worn or polished coins. These are quarters that carry a bright, reflective silver hue, a tone that clearly sets them apart from their typical counterparts. So what causes this? The answer remains a matter of ongoing debate in the numismatic community. Some believe it stems from planchet errors, coins accidentally struck on silver blanks left over from proof sets or commemorative issues. Others suspect environmental conditions or chemical reactions might have altered the coin's tone over time. But one thing is certain, these silver-shaded 1993 P quarters are rare, and when they appear in high-grade condition, collectors take notice. As demand increases, so do the prices. Recently, silver-toned 1993 P quarters in mint state condition have fetched impressive numbers. One MS-66 silver-shaded specimen was listed online for over $500. In circulated yet unusually clean condition, other examples have sold for between $25 to $75, depending on visual appeal and market interest. That's an astonishing value for a coin most people overlook entirely. The reason for this demand is twofold: rarity and mystery. There is no official record of silver planchets being used in Philadelphia for 1993 quarters, which only adds to the allure. For a coin that was never supposed to exist in this form, the silver shade makes it stand out in any collection. Add the fact that the majority of these coins were likely spent and lost in circulation, and you begin to see just how scarce surviving examples truly are. For serious collectors, identifying these coins means looking beyond the date and mint mark. Examine the edges. Does the coin show the standard copper core, or is the edge uniformly silver? Does the surface have a brighter, cooler tone than typical clad coins? Weight can be another indicator. A standard clad quarter weighs 5.67 grams, while any deviation, particularly heavier weights, should raise an eyebrow. Consider using a digital scale and magnification to inspect details. And if you suspect you found one, professional grading from companies like PCGS or NGC can drastically increase its value and buyer confidence. preserving the coin is critical. Silver-shaded coins must be handled with care, always use gloves, avoid touching the surfaces, and store them in airtight holders or slabs. Environmental damage or improper cleaning can strip away the very features that make these coins valuable. Condition is everything in numismatics, and even the slightest mishandling can mean the difference between a few dollars and a few hundred. What makes the 1993 silver-shaded quarter truly remarkable isn't just its mysterious origin or its aesthetic appeal. It's the simple fact that it exists in a world where it was never meant to. That contradiction, between what should have been and what actually is, creates the kind of story that collectors crave and investors chase. In today's coin market, authenticity and uniqueness drive value. And coins like the 1993 P quarter with a silver shade condition represent the sweet spot where scarcity meets story. As more collectors search for rare varieties and modern anomalies, the demand for these mysterious quarters continues to rise. So the next time you're sifting through change, don't overlook the 1993 quarter. That dull-looking coin might just shine brighter than any silver dollar. And if you find one with that unmistakable silver tone and a clean strike, hold on to it. You may be holding a modern American rarity with serious investment potential. Subscribe now for more deep dives into rare and valuable coins. You never know which coin in your collection could be the next hidden gem worth a fortune.